Welcome into another edition of BamaCentral 3 and Out, everyone, with Joey Blackwell and Tony Sukalis. I'm Katie Wyndham. Earlier this morning, we had the really early schedule release for SEC men's basketball, not the full schedule release, but at least the opponents. And guys, we'll kind of get your way too early reactions, predictions for the schedule for Alabama, where they have their home and homes, of course, with Auburn, Mississippi State, and LSU, the three permanent opponents, and then also Arkansas and Vanderbilt. Have some road trips at Missouri, which is always a tough one, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas A&M, and then they'll host Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, and Ole Miss. So, Joey, why don't you start? Tell us your way too early SEC record prediction for this Alabama basketball team.
Yeah, I think this is a very favorable schedule for Alabama. They do have a couple of, of home and road series, that will be a little tricky, but they're not having to play Kentucky twice, they're not going to play Tennessee twice, so that goes in their favor. Overall, I kind of have them as they'll probably be around 13-5. I do think that they drop a couple. I think that losing to Auburn on the road, LSU on the road, and Arkansas on the road are three games they'll probably drop. I think that Kentucky will likely be their only home loss. I think they'll put up a good fight against Florida, Auburn, and Arkansas all there. And then Missouri, like you said, Missouri's always been an opponent that's been very difficult for Alabama and natives to take on in Columbia. So I have that as my, most likely my fifth loss. So 13-5, I think it's realistic. It might be a little bit lofty of a goal there. It might be a little bit positive of a prediction, but that's where I stand as of right now.
Yeah, I'm close to that. I think I have 12-6. I think they split Auburn, LSU, Arkansas, and Vanderbilt. I think they sweep Mississippi State. I've got them winning Florida, Georgia, Ole Miss. I have them losing at home to Kentucky, and then I think they'll beat Missouri on the road. I think that has to end at some point, right? That streak of losing in Columbia has to end for NATO. So maybe he gets that back. I think probably a win at South Carolina, and then I think they win one of the games at Tennessee and Texas A&M. So I hope I did that right, and the math is 12-6, but that's about where I have them.
Yeah, I mean, the last two seasons, two of Alabama's worst games each year have been at Missouri. So, I mean, it's got to end sometime. Native seemed really focused on it before last year's game, and it still didn't end well. But, maybe this will be the year that Alabama comes away with the win in Columbia under Nate Oates. But, this is a basketball team that so far we don't know a ton about just because it's so many new faces. But it'll be interesting to see how things play out this season. But that'll about do it for this week's and today's BamaCentral 3 and Out. Thanks for watching.